So if extraterrestrial means more terrestrial, it means more terrestrial than humans. And in a sense, the toxoplasmosis is suspect of being that because it can rewire your neurological pathways. But it's extraterrestrial. You know what I mean? Like we suspect microbials. A lot of that, like fungus, is suspicious because it can sit in like what's it called? Like not hibernating, but like dormant for like 500, 1,000 years. That's why there's new mushrooms that seem to pop up like every like so often, but that we've never seen before. We don't know where they came from, and but okay. I wonder if eels are a little bit extraterrestrial because their spawning point is a mystery. Nobody knows where they came from. Like even if they're swimming up the river, like they were probably born on another continent somewhere as like a little, like an embryo stage, or like other little small stages and shit. But extraterrestrial is like maybe robot grandmas, because they're not actually grandmas, and like they clone, they grow a live culture of almost like of humans, but it's a holographic robot, right? Whatever that means. But like what's it called? Oh shit! I just had something. Pathology, but it wasn't that. People, I mean, it's debated that they even used to clone themselves. So like, but that's like terrestrial, right? If we're terrestrial and we're threatened, we could just clone an exact female copy of yourself. That's parthenogenetic replication, right? Something like that seems extraterrestrial now, right? I'm not saying that this is empirical knowledge. We don't know if Amazon women existed, or maybe they just needed all those for those seals, like state seals, and the state seal of California has, and like Amazonian women, but she's actually like represents modernity, so she doesn't look like an actress from the Amazon, but she was supposedly born when she was like 35 years old. What the fuck is that? Like a way to like tell you that she's a female clone of the mother through parthenogenetic replication. Suppose that's reptilian. Reptilians are evil and everything. So I don't know if you ever want to be interested in that. Maybe that seems ridiculous, Maybe you scoff at that. I don't know. Like I bet Georgia O'Keeffe wouldn't scoff at that. But that make her seem like some kind of crazy woman was just aiming her cooter at the sun, and she was trying to take in the 7 different ethereal water frequencies to be impregnated by the photon of the sun, replicating the fucking electrolysis from the reconstruction of Osirian body mythos, yada yada, Theosophical Societies, national yada. But alien is a legalistic term, which is like H.P. Lovecraft described races coming to Antarctica and vying for dominion, leaving behind the cities of previous races when they took over, and then like some of them might have like some kind of mycorrhizal, like some kind of mycelium network, so that they can propagate all over the planet, something like that. because they have to vie for dominion. They have a lien against you for occupancy. That just means you can free up the freaking all of the like militaristic response to try to fight off these invaders. Or that's the reason why in the imagination the alien says, "Take me to your leader," because there's this like legalese concept of like having a lien placed against you for trying to occupy, which dominion is a way of saying a form of occupancy, right? A dominion translates to some form of occupancy, and there could be multiples forms of occupancy. It's a form, almost like a piece of paper. So that legalese application to something that's like possibly identified flying objects that we think like took off from the ocean somewhere, like the spaceships go back and fucking into the ocean and shit, flight like they're on some kind of electromagnetic catapult or something, some kind of like invisible monorail, light rail or something, and they can fucking change directions and like sort of like phase in and out of dimension, like a photon separating from the nucleus and the neutrons and the electrons, like the constant expanding and contracting of heat and cold, like temperature changes, chemical changes. It brings on entropy, and all the atoms and everything will be ripped asunder. Even the concept of a particle is an illusory realm, because it's just space and vibration. There's no two particles touching. To go even further, there's no such thing as a particle. But alien, you might still say like, I know there's some fucking aliens, you're ruining aliens and everything like that. The government will have to carry out that distraction narrative of disclosure to the point that they have to convince people, okay, then they will stage this, like, and you'll know it's them because it will be like a prelude to the real alien invasion to come after that. You know, like something has to be like defined by its opposite. You know what I mean? There are fields that attract, opposites attract, right? Animal magnetism is the only law that you pertain to, right? It's also known as magnetism, the law of, animal magnetism, the law of attraction. That's the only law that we really have. If you get into other kinds of laws, it requires an arena or like something like something like a theater or an arena. It has to be staged and producing some kind of what are those called? Presuppositions, to where you can even know about or think that is also like a two-sided coin. A perspective is two sides, right? Looking at something from two sides of it is to get a perspective, right? That's kind of why truth is fluid, and nobody is holding it. Like, it's something that has to be true, like, and nobody can just be walking around like, oh, I have the truth. You know what I mean? The truth is occupying my physical form or something. Like, the truth is like taking my physical form. Like, that's like, that would be competing for like Christhood or something. And two things can be true. You can live in the back recess of a rooster's illusion, and Christ could have sort of codified, because it's like there's a nobility code in there. It's paternalistic nobility code that does predate dynastic era, and rules and things are a little bit different, and nobody ever dares to go into that. But like all the pharaohs were gay, because there's not supposed to be a male pharaoh. Like after the fall of man, or something happened before that, okay, but way before that. But at some point they started importing pharaohs from the area around Togo and Benin and Togo and Uganda, to be an example of the living God amongst men, while they alphabetized languages, and they gave different cultures these like alphabets and like Skrillex or something like that. And then that was their gross national product, basically, and they imported the tribes of Israel to bulwark for their power. They weren't slaves; they were these elite, like, military units with their short crescent sword. Didn't get stuck in people, like it didn't get, like, it freed them to fucking kill the next person really quickly. So, and close quarter combat that they like to get in close, their sword didn't get stuck in people, so they could just move through them, killing, right? But so does that go to the alien? I mean, this is like, this shit affects the release of like like the stable coin shit too. Like there's a ranking system in the demagogue in the demagoguery, like, we're like Libra and Venus, and you know what I mean, like these gods, like, it seems like they fight each other to become the same thing. They're so similar sometimes, and then they fight to be what they already are, basically. Like, if they even hear of another god, then they don't even need a reason. They'll just march off and go try to contest them in battle and destroy them, because they're the only one. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they like subservience, but the subservience are what, like, the people, right? And this isn't about whether or not I believe in them, or it's not empirical data. Like, it's not like my worldview is that this is like they're running the show or anything like that. Like, they're like, they create these minotaur, like these anthropomorphic events throughout time. They're like events, they're like representations of history, portray some event where people interacted with the third kind. What's the third kind? They knew how to make the what's it called, the what's that elixir called? Criken or something. No, I don't know, some kind of barley drink. Like, they were doing some kind of like LSD before we had lysergic, but we didn't invent this shit. Like, we didn't invent none of this shit that we're doing today. I know you want to say, like, oh, we got rocket ships and shit like that. But it could be stranger than that. it's like energies outside of outside of our cosmos. They can unravel the matrix, particularly your matrix. Like DNA is a concoction. The only thing that can kill you is your own DNA. It's like a concoction. But that's just like things that, like, ways of like that thinking, like that are like, it's not really in the interest of aristocracy right now for some reason. I don't know, they're technocracy now. There's not old guard autocracy. They're like technocracy. Soulless. We're like, you know. Which is alien enough for me. Like, people are weird enough to be the aliens. Why do we even need aliens? Maybe even a little bit about you. Shit, I mean, be honest. I mean, you have to imagine that. Yeah, why would we need aliens? Like, it's I swear to God, it's just nothing but legalism. Alien Nation, that show back in the early 90s or late 80s, that like the aliens landed, like mixed in with humans and like were part of everything. Like, it sounds like alienation. I wonder if that's like a pun or something, because they were like alienated by humans. But anyway, there's a lien against them for occupancy that's called alien. Doesn't mean that there's not extraterrestrials that can like clone you like a robot grandma and have like an army of like almost like terracotta soldiers, but they're like made up of people that they cloned, like they're in stasis, like Han Solo, just chilling up underneath Mount Shasta. And I think Blavatsky has a robot, holographic robot clone of her, and Pascal Beverly Randolph probably too. Just chilling in stasis. Because of like a microbial, like toxoplasmosis. This thing cloned this kid's grandma, and it left a bite mark, like a spider bite behind its fucking neck, behind her neck. Sorry, grandma, behind her neck. Right, if you want to believe that sort of thing. Of course, it's like, again, not empiricism. Like, that's just some of the lore. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not impossible. You don't like know how freaking plants and every organism vies for dominion. Like, your genes will do things to promote the species. Like, you'll do things in accordance with your DNA, and it's like want this desire to propagate your own species. And they will do like to win other species, like something bad, something awful, dominate them. And the apex predator is always getting fed on by something. Like, soon as they can smell the nutrients entering your bloodstream, like, they all attracted to you. Like the lion has all those flies, like after it eats and sits down, like flies smell the blood, attack the lion. Suppose people have that diabetes type 2 is like some kind of parasite. and they need suppose that's all true, and they need the oil of oregano with the black seed oil, only so much like this much carbachol, not like too much. I mean, not enough, like more than enough. Like you're supposed to have more than not enough. Parasites influence your decisions and stuff like that. Like they have some kind of effect on neurological pathways of a human, or like extraterrestrial shits. So they don't have to be just good because they're natural. Like they can be natural and bad for you or something, or good for you, like shit, like help for your gut microbiome, like the microbials that survive, that you have essential, like help you to digest food and like and shit. Like people that are fat are missing is like particular microbials in the gut microbiome that it makes their metabolism slow and stuff.